Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the original Loretta Brown Show, radio to open the heart, heal the soul, awaken the consciousness. Benny,
Yes.
Christmas is coming.
I know, it's so close. I can taste it. Just like candy canes, right?
I know, like candy canes. Yeah, I actually was looking at the calendar and I don't know how it snuck up like it is. I guess it's on a Monday this year, and I don't know if that's good or bad.
You make it sound
right?
like wah wah. It's on a Monday. I mean, yeah, it is on a Monday. It's on
that
a
just
day.
means a long weekend. Maybe the
Right.
weekend could start on the Friday before and go until the Wednesday after.
I think a lot of people will probably start taking that off already, even earlier than that, just to prepare. Because obviously Friday and Saturday are the busiest days of shopping for last minute shopper getters, getting out there and doing their thing. Have you started your shopping? I mean, I've been ahead of the game.
I'm done this year.
Oh, good.
Partly because I went to Egypt and shopped.
Of course.
I mean, what are you going to do in Egypt? You're going to shop.
Well,
then you're going to go to Jordan and shop.
Yeah, if you want. I'm still waiting for my Prezi here from you. I don't know. I guess it hasn't arrived.
It's in the mail.
Yeah, it's being boated over. It's being shipped over. Yeah, okay. I get it. It's cool. It's cool.
Anyway, I hope everybody is staying in good spirits.
Yeah.
I'll give a little astrology report. I'll bring my guest on. But stay on the bright side of life. Try to do something fun. I was talking to someone yesterday. I said, I hope people have traditions like that they do with their kids.
Oh, yeah.
Because it makes it fun, right?
Yeah. As you should continue the traditions on, and then they pass it down to their children and even their friends. It's always a good thing. So I'm hoping for a white Christmas, but I don't think it's going to happen for us here in the Pacific Northwest.
I don't think so. Maybe wet.
Yeah, well, that's a given.
Rainy Christmas.
Right.
Yeah.
Hope for the best.
Yeah, hope for the best. Anyway, I am the owner of Reiki Oasis, located right here in the greater Seattle area for quite a few years now. I do have a couple of things coming up. The Temple of the Divine Feminine will be meeting on Saturday, the 23rd. And I've got it put in there because we're going to be doing some winter solstice stuff. And we're going to do some really wonderful, it's just a wonderful time. So you can join us via Zoom or in person. It is 4 hours long on a Saturday, 11:30 to 3:30. And you can find out more about that at ReikiOasis.com. And I do apologize. I am still having trouble getting my webpage up. I, for some reason, was, I don't know, censored by Xfinity, Comcast. I don't know what to say. I'm doing my best. I know. I don't know. I had some word on there. I don't know what's going on, but
that's all it takes. It's just that one word.
One word. Shouldn't have said that, right? And currently, my webmaster has everything. It'll go straight to the scheduler, so you can schedule for things. And so be patient with that. And maybe it's time to revamp that website and put it back up in a different way. So that could be the thing. But I do have the Temple of the Divine Feminine on Saturday, December 23rd. And then I have my end of the year despacho, which everybody wants to come to, on Thursday evening, December 28th. And you can join us. In person is limited, or Zoom. And I do this every year. People tell me it's very powerful. And we sort of clear out all the energies of the past year, which is 2023. I kind of feel like I don't want to drag that into the new year with me. And we set the energies for 2024. So this will be a very powerful time. And going into that, this week, December 12th, we had the last new moon of 2023 in the fiery and adventurous sign of Sagittarius. I always feel like that. Everything needs a theme song, right? The new moon holds the fiery, passionate energy thanks to the addition of the planet Mars. While Mars can cause tense emotions to bubble up, yes, it can. You've been emotional lately, and can sometimes also bring out hostilities and aggression under the Sagittarius new moon. Its energy shifts in a different direction. Under this new moon, we can more easily channel the motivating, confidence-boosting, energizing qualities of Mars. So there's also strong healing energy under this new moon. It seems like the boost from Mars can help us to recover quicker, find our strength faster, and make more progress on our healing journey. Yeah, in fact, the Sagittarius new moon is a great time to focus on healing and bringing yourself into a state of balance. The holiday season is here, it's already here, and it can create a lot of stress for people. So use this new moon energy to plant seeds of calm, balance, and think about what you want to manifest for the weeks ahead. And then also on December 12th, Mercury, the planet of communication, the swiftest planet, began the holiday season retrograde, because you can never have too many gifts from Mercury, right? And it will be retrograde until January 1st in the structure ruling sign of Capricorn. So I know, Betty, you're a Capricorn.
Yes.
I got a Capricorn moon. Here we are. So while squaring Neptune, it's going to create energetic space for deep connection with our soul truth. Ooh, I know.
So no more lying.
My hand up. Yeah, well.
Got it. No more white lies. Got it. No.
As the divine messenger starts its final retrograde of 2023 in Capricorn, right after the 12/12 portal of ascension. Good heavens, things happened on the 12th, didn't they? And the Sagittarius new moon, it creates an extremely powerful merging bridge of retrograde energies, and it energetically facilitates the further collapse of old structures on personal and collective levels, releasing limiting beliefs and behaviors regarding relationships, structure, stability, and security. And it helps us gain and integrate new understanding about our visions and our journey. So these energies will bring a major shift in perception and show us the soul truth without illusion. Whoa. And as the old 3D anchors dissolve, this will assist us in projecting the energetic shifts into the physical 3D reality. We are being asked to focus on the excitement, if we can, of stepping into the new chapter of our soul journey and flow with the shifts and changes. This is a time of truth revealing, truth telling, and shifting. And we should channel the new ways and reflect on the aspects of our life that are not in alignment with our highest path. This coming Saturday, December 16th, the sun will move into a square alignment with Neptune, that dreamy planet. And whatever was brewing for you earlier in the month under the Neptune direct energies will come back around for a completion point. More information will be revealed. You may find that many of the stories need your attention. I love that, stories. Which story? I don't know. Write your own story. Write your way out of it. And whenever Neptune is involved, it's a good idea to trust your instincts and not believe everything that you see, think, or hear. Don't believe everything you think. Your intuition is really going to be on your side, and we are entering deeper into a time of not only developing that inner guidance system, but being able to listen to it. So I can't think of better energy for my guest to come onto the show. My goodness, I am so excited. Dr. Christopher Macklin, PhD, is my guest today, and he's a true soul brother. A starseed soul brother. I don't know. I think we know each other for a long, long time, Christopher. He's an author and a powerful health and wellness practitioner from England originally. And he's born as a highly aware psychic child in Chester, England. Christopher Macklin was able to perceive energy fields, spirit activity, and multidimensional phenomena from a very young age. He utilizes alternative and mainstream modalities and, I don't know, magic. I don't know, to help people with their modern day illnesses or their ancient ones. Well, never mind. Christopher works with thousands of clients internationally. He's able to heal many people simultaneously. And he and his wife, Amanda, have founded the Global Enlightenment Project to serve and awaken humanity and support the healing needs of people all over the earth. And they live at their center in Branson, Missouri. He's the author of, I don't know how many books you've written, 5, maybe 6? 6? Okay. Thanks, 6.
And I've got dyslexia.
I know. Well, there you go. Including a really great little book. I mean, this is the great little book called Centering the Mind healing of chronic stress, anxiety, depression, ADD, OCD, and PTSD in children, adolescents, and adults. Wow. I have all those things. Welcome to the show, Christopher.
Thanks, actually, I do as well. And speaking of white lies, I'd just like to tell Benny, I sent his present last week, and last time we tracked it, it's in Indonesia. So I don't want to tell.
Well, thank you very much. So I'm still hoping. Great. There's hope. Thank you. Thank you.
That's such a great comment. I kind of want to jump right in there because we were talking before the show, like talking about mental health and stress and anxiety. This couldn't be a better time of the year to do that. Not only are the holidays a time when, I don't know, a lot of people decide to exit the planet, right? Or depression sets in, or there's something going on with it, but there's also all this collective energy. So I don't even know where to start with that. Maybe you jump in there, Christopher. I mean, I think that mental illness, I'm just going to say mental illness, right? Mental disorders. It's one of the almost taboo subjects where people don't even want to talk about it. Like if someone comes to me and I go, you know what, I think you have a mental imbalance or a mental illness, or you need to shift how you think. They're like, oh, no, I'm fine. I have a cold, but other than that, I'm fine, right? So
I've got a spot on my finger. I'm good,
I'm good to go.
Yeah, good to go.
So let's just talk about that, and let's talk about how emotions and our thoughts affect our health.
Absolutely. I mean, at the start of this pandemic, I mean, the last 3 years have been very interesting because I think, there's a couple of elements about people on this planet. The starseed people, for example, there's about 400,000 starseed people who are here to really help. And they're being really hijacked by entity attachments, and B, they don't fit in this world because they're highly empathic. And what that means is that you don't think like a normal human being. So, when someone's berating you or talking behind your back, you ingest it 20 times bigger than the average person. And of course, I mean, I remember when I was young, last week, about when I was 22. Stop laughing. I only dyed my hair metallic silver just to, it's the in thing, But when I was younger, I used to take things, someone talked behind my back. I used to be mortified to the point of almost, throwing up, because how could you talk? And now I've learned to actually, it doesn't matter. And it takes time to do that. It's important as that sort of person to set boundaries so that, there's been so much separation over this time, mask versus no mask, vax versus no vax, and all this sort of thing. And then there's all these, narratives created, LGBTQ, Black Lives Matter, White Lives Matter, Pink Lives Matter, who knows? There's been so much separation, and it's so sad to see. And then you've got Christian communities versus Muslims versus this. It's so sad, I mean, to me, there's only one God and prime creator. But I think, as these narratives have been put out, and they're there as a psyop to create huge separation. I mean, I've had so many times when people said, I've had a daughter saying, my mother said, I never, ever want to speak to you again unless you take the vaccine.
Yes.
What? And my answer was to her, if your mother's love is all about a vaccine, then, there's no love there at all. And so what I do is detach from that but of course, detaching from it's fine. But then you get this separation with families, and you find that starseed people, people who really get this thing are becoming more and more detached from the world, but also more lonely. I mean, it's so sad to see because, we have very few friends, because you can imagine if I went out and talked to the average person about what I do, they're just, oh my gosh, and it's happened because you can see the fluoride stare like, oh, okay, and, even talking about healings. And, it's all healing. It's all God stuff, and so I think, to navigate this world, I think you really have to set boundaries and have people who love you, who hold the space for you in your field. And that's what I do, and in that way, I love going in nature. We're building a house in 40 acres of woods, and it's dense woods. When you go there, it's just like, oh, wow, this just feels so magical. the place is magical. I'm looking forward to moving in. You know, go amongst nature. If you love growing food, you know, working on plants, work on plants. If you love animals, go and, you know, volunteer at shelters or take dogs or cats or whatever you want to do yourself. The things that give you passion. And as we talked before the show, I think the problem is with this world is you've got to find that burning passion. If you don't find that passion, you're just going to limp along, you know, going to work, earn a living, paying the IRS and and it's just you know, to me, you know, it's a nothingness life. But when you find that burning passion and you get excited and you can help people, and I do it every week. We work on probably 1,800 people a week, you know, different forms. It's a lot of people. And, you know, I've seen in the last week, a lot of people are, you know, kind of wanting to check out this world, you know. We had a lady say, oh, I've got my pills here. I don't know what to take. Don't take it, please, you know, and I've got it on today. You know, we're there to support people. You know, because once you take that power back and get that burning passion, then it's amazing, you know. But of course, you know, like you said with Starseeds, like yourself, you know, we've all got this ADD, ADHD. I mean, I've got OCD. I've got 84 pairs of pantaloons. I can probably beat anyone with pantaloons. I don't know what Benny's like, but, you know.
I don't have that many, that's for sure.
My wife goes, don't buy any more. And, you know, why did I buy them? It just makes me feel comfortable because, you know, you don't fit in this world in a normal way, you know. So don't even try. Get 84 pairs of pantaloons and you're good to go.
I'm sorry, I have the suspicion that you have this floor-to-ceiling closet that is just the pantaloon closet, right? You know, and when you open it
just
up,
2 drawers. Managers go, don't get any more because we can hardly close the drawers as is, you know. But it's just a quirk, you know. I've got quirks, you've got quirks, and that's okay, you know. That's what makes
it brings you joy, and I'm imagining you open that up, and the angels are like, oh, and light comes out of there, and you're like, yes, this is it, right?
And then Santa turns up. Here's 10 more pairs now. Where do we put them? You know? So, you got to have a laugh in this world. That's what it's all about, you know.
Well, and to tell you the truth, I'm so glad we're laughing because I feel like you do, the last few years have been particularly difficult. And in my work, right, with my clientele base, I have literally watched people get caught in a downward swirl of emotional, mental conflict and or content where if you look at the world around you, it's like, my goodness, what has happened to hope and what has happened to joy and what has happened to, I just love you and you love me and this is our family and can we get along, right? And it just it's like everything's all over the place. So you said so many good things in what you said. I kind of jotted some things down. I want to go back and revisit a little bit. And you know, like, okay, where do I start? I'm going to start right here. When we talk about individual consciousness, right? Like I know I have my realm here, whatever you want to call it, which, you know, like when I clear my energy out and get inside my little bubble, I realize, oh, it's my thoughts and my emotions. That's what's going on in here, right?
Absolutely.
But we're also, and so I want you to talk about that, but we're also connected to this collective consciousness. And man, I recently took a trip to Egypt and Jordan and took a lovely group of people with me. And I was standing there on the Jordan River, honestly, looking across to Israel. And you can see Jerusalem on the hill. And I could feel such a conflict of energies. There's a beautiful, loving energy there. There's raw, sore, hurt, bleeding energy. And it affects us. So I guess I'm talking about the collective consciousness and also the individual consciousness. So jump in there anywhere, because I know you've got so much you could say about it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, and it's interesting. There's a crystalline structure around the planet. It used to be used for telepathy. Now it's filling up with consciousness. It's a crystalline structure. It contains humanity's repository for, you know, emotion and everything else. And, you know, I'm one of the people who used to police it, and the Actorians clear it. Now, the Actorians used to clear it kind of once every 3 months. And then as we went further, once a month, and then once every 2 weeks now, they clear it every week. And it's still not enough, but they've kind of agreed that, look, people have got to feel this stuff. It's no use just doing everything for them. We're not a red pill organization. People need to feel something to an extent without overdoing it. If you overdo it, they'll just despair and could do some crazy stuff. So it is being cleared once a week, but also the power of prayer, in quotes. I don't like the word prayer. I like the word map of intent. We've got the sacred prayers or maps of intent, and there's one there to clear the collective consciousness. And, basically, you ground yourself and say, dear God, it's not for me to process this collective consciousness right now. So I'm taking it and sending it back to you, God, to be transmuted and dispersed in only the way how we thank you, God. If you keep doing that 2 or 3 times a day, it'll really help. If you don't, what happens is you get this like brick in your chest, like, wow, I can hardly breathe, because the collective consciousness is really, really profound right now. And I think that's something else. We have to, there's no one who's going to save you. Everyone wants a red pill or a blue pill, whatever color pill, who knows? But they want you to save them, and no one can save you except yourself, and we're just really facilitators to help. It's like, when I do healing sessions, we can pull a load of emotion out. How do we do that? Well, emotion layers build up, and for starseed people, they ingest over their lifetime maybe like 150,000, 200,000 layers. If you just do counseling, you're ever going to get rid of those layers? You'll get rid of some of them, but we've got a fast track method, and what they do is go within those layers. It's almost like psychic surgery type thing. Go within the layers, pull the biggest layer affecting you right now, next biggest. So we could do like 81, 162, 324, 648, and 1296 is the most. But you have to build up people, because if you just go to 1296, they'll crash and burn. But it really helps, get that emotion out. So, and the whole point about it, there's a whole slew of, if you look at Jesus' teachings, I'm not a Christian, but I love Jesus' teachings. And he talked about, in quotes, demonic entities. What are they? There's Anunnaki, Draconians, Luciferians, Archons, snake beings, different things. And if you've got an attachment like that, it's A, blocking your meridians, but B, it affects the body. If you've got an Anunnaki, it sits in the abdomen, it blocks the vibration of the abdomen, so you get bloaty, you don't digest properly, your liver drops, so you get headaches or heavy head, kidneys, and adrenals get paralyzed, so you're exhausted. So by removing those and getting your vibration way above them bit by bit, to that point where you're leaping out of bed in the morning, going, oh my God, I feel incredible. That's the God space to be. And once you get there, you're not dropping out of it unless something big happens, like someone passes away in your family, maybe you'll drop out. But once you've got there, life changes. You take your power back. You think, I'm going to get out there and do stuff, like you're doing, Loretta. It's to me, it's all about the passion in life. If you haven't got that passion, then, we need to be looking, okay, what's your gift? And the God gift is something you don't even have to try. It's just there. Of course, you have to learn it through meditation. How does it work? But it's just there. It's like piano playing. Well, it's like, actually, let's take, for example, writing books. I've written 6 books, and yet I've got dyslexia. When someone said to me, you have to write a book, I go, oh no, you've got to be kidding, because it's not my cup of tea. Anyway, so I found a ghostwriter, and what I was doing is putting a headset on over Skype. I used to dictate the books, and and she said, well, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by this? And expanded it, and it was great. Works for me. But if I just right, ready to write a book, nothing's coming. Then I tried Dragon Naturally Speaking, and when I talked about Zeta Great, I said, have a nice day. And it was just all over the place. So, I found that ghostwriters is good for me, because, I could just dictate it. If they don't understand it, they'll expand it. So they're like interfacing the information I've got to the outside world by explaining it properly. And it works, it's really good.
Yeah, I love everything that you're saying. So this prayer, because that I heard that, and my energy responded, and I think a lot of people do this. We end up trying to process things that are not ours, right?
Absolutely.
So this prayer is what you just said. Is that the actual prayer? Like, take this and send it back?
Yeah, it's on the website. I mean, it's called the prayer to remove collective energy, and really what you're doing is just sending it back to God to be transmuted and dispersed. It's not for us to process, which it's not, and in fact, other people's emotion isn't for us to process either, and of course, when you're doing this sort of work, you can't help but take some of it off. So I have to clear myself every day. And I've actually found that I can work on less people. I used to do, 4.5 days a week. Now I'm down to 3.5 days, because I found it's, you can't burn yourself out. You've got to maintain a balance. And of course, so many people need help. I mean, I've got psychotherapists, psychiatrists who, get backing, because we've kind of got an element where it's not in the third dimension, like entities. When you taught psychiatry, you taught to prescribe some pills, counsel them, whatever. There's a whole slew of other things, like, releasing the emotion. Well, of course, they counsel to release the emotion, but getting the vibration of that person and removing the entity attachments. And that's something that, of course, they don't teach. So little by little, the world of psychiatry and psychotherapy is expanded. And I've got people who use all the stuff we have, including the power of maps of intent, prayers, to really help people, and also finding their passion. Most of the psychiatrists, psychotherapists I work with always teach people, look, you're a God being. God's got a divine plan for you. God's got a gift that, is yours to nourish and prosper with. But, people always related to money. I mean, 20 years ago, just to give an example, I went for a reading and walked in. This woman, she was about 80, and, was talking about things. So, well, you're going to get remarried. Okay. You're going to go and live in America. Okay. And you're going to live off donations and work for God. Oh, okay. Oh, look, it arrived,
Sure.
But the thing is, people hang on to money. It's not about money, to me, it's about, where love goes, money flows, and money's just energy. And I think if you put everything you've got into what you do, don't worry about the money. I hate accounting. Our accountant does it all. I pay him $24,000 a year, and they take care of the whole thing. Not interested in beans. And it's funny because they say, you don't like tax stuff, do you? No. And she said, do you want to read your tax return? No. I said, I wouldn't know whether it's right or wrong. Look, you're the accountant. You count the beans. I'm just doing healing. So, and she started laughing. She goes, you're not interested? I said, no.
So is that a indicator that you're a starseed? Because I am so with you on that. I'm like,
oh yeah.
Well, what do we have to do this for?
And people say, well, I can't afford an accountant. But the thing is, if you focus on your gifts, you'll create the money to be able to pay the accountant. $24,000 a year, a lot of money. But then there's a lot of work in it. We have to fill in a 990 for a non-for-profit. And that's like 120 pages. Am I going to fill that in? Absolutely not. I'll just give it to them and they fill the whole thing.
Yeah.
Do you want to read it? No. Do you want to read your tax return? No. I wouldn't know whether it's right or wrong, Yeah. And then you could just enjoy your gift, So I think it's so important to just concentrate on your gift and pay other people to do the things you don't like. Like IT. Can I do the IT? Of course I can. I was trained in it. Do I want to do it? Absolutely not, because, and you find that the IT people, they know the idiosyncrasies of what's happened with Windows on the last release and so they can just come and fix it. You could spend all day, looking on Google, there must be some weird thing. And, you're wasting your time when, your gift's just sitting there doing nothing. So,
right.
So, yeah, I've learned that, if nothing else.
Yeah. So we're going to take a little station break. And this is Loretta Brown. I adore my guest today, Christopher Macklin. What an amazing, amazing man. And we're talking about mental health and spiritual health. And he's got a great book, Centering the Mind. And by the way, it's a little book, but it's jam-packed full of stuff, right? Centering the Mind, healing of chronic stress, anxiety, depression, ADD, OCD, and PTSD in children, adolescents, and adults. And don't go away, because I have so many more questions. I want to talk about all kinds of things when we come back. So we'll take a little station break and be right back.
All right, all clear.
Did you know that Reiki healing can be done at a distance? It's true. So let Reiki Oasis focus powerful energy to help relieve your stress grief, sadness, anger, and so much more. Convenient, personalized treatments at a distance can increase lightness of being. During your appointment, find a quiet place to lie down or sit to receive healing energies. If you want help with your dis-ease, visit ReikiOasis.com. Harness life's energy. Visit ReikiOasis.com today.
If you're 19 or older with certain underlying medical conditions such as asthma or diabetes, you can get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease that can disrupt your life for weeks. If you're 65 or older, it is also recommended you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia, no matter the season. Talk to your doctor about vaccination today and learn more at lung.org/protect yourself. A message from the American Lung Association in collaboration with Pfizer.
Have something important to say? Want to help improve our world? Need to promote your business uniquely and effectively? KKNW is the answer. Our staff helps broadcasters and podcasters create professional sounding audio. Bring your talent and let our experts help you craft a radio show or podcast that best delivers your message. Learn more at 1150kknw.com. That's 1150kknw.com. KKNW, talk variety that's live and local. Ready to shake things up? Try Alternative Talk 1150.
And I hate to interrupt, and you guys got to bring you back in here. All right, stand by.
My guest today, Dr. Christopher Macklin, PhD. And just a reminder that these shows are archived. I can't say archived, but they are. And you can listen to them over and over again at the archives on KKNW 1150 AM for the original Loretta Brown Show. We're also on iTunes, Podcast One. I was going to say Twitter, but it's X. I think it's X. Megaphone, YouTube, and all over the place. So be sure and go check it out. I have other shows with Christopher Macklin. You'll want to go find them because I don't know, this might be your fourth time on my show, third or fourth.
Third or fourth.
Yeah. And I'll have him back again because I love his work and I love what he's doing. I'm trying to figure out which question I'm going to go with first. I'm going to go with this question first. When people are having trouble connecting with their passion, right? Because I have a lot of people that come to me and they go, what am I here for? And you were talking about entities, right? And we're talking about depression and stress and anxiety. How do people find their passion if they're not feeling anything and they're numb or they're not feeling any passion? And do the entities block us sometime from that? Like,
I mean, if you get in like an Anunnaki draconian, they tap in the lower back, they actually damage the L4 R5 disc, because it gets weak. Because the entity, of course, in this dimension is it's in the same space but different time. So it's an energy field, but they could also send you negative thoughts to your spinal column. So if you go out to work, oh God, you're useless. No one likes you. Why are you here? And you just keep getting these thoughts 24/7. And it's a you thought. There's one thing about the universal law. They can't say I. It's against the universal rule. So they say, oh, you are. And people, because all these thoughts come in, they turn it into an I thought. They think it's me thinking it when it's not. So always police your thoughts. Is that a you thought? If it is, it's not your deal. It's coming from somewhere else. But to remove entities, I mean, very often, people come on. I mean, we have a group Thursday night, actually tonight, 5 p.m. Central Time, and Saturday, 11 a.m. Central Time. They're by donation. If you don't have any money, just come on, because that's why I do it, because I always want to make sure that everyone gets a healing. And, we remove any entities and, we cover a lot of diseases. It's not run as long. It's normally run for 4-6 hours. One-to-one specialized groups, I run them for 7 days and get into really detail. But at least you've got that facility. If you think you've got an entity where you're getting these negative thoughts, they can cause kind of fibromyalgia type symptoms, bloaty abdomen, depression, then come on them. The other thing about it as well is that, of course, if you get a lot of emotion, the neurochemical balance goes off, like the serotonin, GABA, dopamine, melatonin, the rest of it. And so part of it, getting people back up there is release the emotion. The other part is working on the glands that produce these things to rebalance them. And so we work on the adrenals, work on the glands in the brain that produce the melatonins, serotonin, GABA, dopamine, and all those things to rebalance it. So, you're back in a balanced state. That's why people get these mental illnesses. And, I mean, like you said, Loretta, I get people every day. I don't fit in this world. God dropped me off at the wrong planet. No, it's just that you volunteered. You got to look at, I'll do it. Well, when you're over the other realm with God realm, you're sipping champagne, you're having a laugh, and there's so much unconditional love. And you look down here, oh, doesn't look good, but I'll be okay. And you get down here and you think, my goodness, what was I thinking? And I always tell people, next time God wants volunteers, before you come down, just pretend you've got diarrhea, go to the toilet, lock the door, and don't come out, until the volunteers. Because it's a tough place. I mean, I love being here. It's not easy, but I love it, and I love it because I'm helping people. If I wasn't helping people doing what I'm doing, I would be like everyone else, just going to work, earning some sort of paycheck that doesn't pay the bills and struggling. So, but, I'm living proof, because people say, well, with painting, you can't make money out of it. With sculpture, you can't. Of course you can. If you've got a real talent for it, that the energy will be put into that painting or put into that particular sculpture. And that's healing for people just by looking at the painting they're receiving energy. So that's a form of healing in itself. Chefing, if you put love into that food, chefs can make something. I can cook really well, but I'm not a chef, If someone gave me 2 ingredients, a bit of meat, I wouldn't know what to do with it, but you put love in that food and, it blows your socks off. Wow, that's delicious, And so, if you're a chef, really work on the specialities and be creative. I think that's really important.
Yeah, I think being creative is important. And I kind of pay attention to if people have lost their creativity. I sometimes think people are just too busy. This world has kind of this, I don't even think it's a hidden agenda. I think it's an obvious agenda to just keep us running and so busy.
Oh, yeah.
That we're
I call it a
exhausted.
hamster wheel. Everyone's busy for the sake of being busy. I got to get that. I got this. And I've learned one critical thing. There's always tomorrow. You don't have to do it today. And I used to be the same when I was young. Last week, I think I mentioned last week.
Yesterday morning.
Yeah, yesterday morning I was young. Today, I did ask God for 30 years. Yeah, tomorrow, who knows what age I'll be. But I always remember that, I used to set like 18 tasks in a day. I used to go out and I was lucky to do 4 of them. And I used to shame myself. Oh, it's ridiculous. I should have done all that stuff, and I only did 4 of them. And I realized that all I was doing is trying to set tasks that was impossible for anyone on this planet to do. You could only do about 3 or 4. And nowadays, I just go with the flow. I've learned to what I call, in quotes, surrender, and that's surrender to God. It's part of gratitude, and people lose the gratitude thing. They think they need more and more and more. One thing I've learned, if you got a plate of food on the table every day and a roof over your head and a car, you're blessed. Do you need anything else? Probably not, I always thank God for the plate of food, because I've been without for 21 days, 7 days, whatever. I'm not trying to make people feel sorry for myself. But when you're without food 21 days, when you get that plate of food, it's like, wow, it's just such a blessing.
Yeah. And that's a good place for me to ask the question about food, because people ask me all the time, Loretta, what should I eat? Or I actually notice people's ideas about diet are changing, or honestly, Christopher, it's so confusing, right? Should you eat bananas? Should you not eat bananas? Should you eat avocado? Should you not? And what about the quality of our food, the toxins?
Well, if you go to a store, the quality is really down in the dumps, and I mean, my opinion is I think you should go to a local farm or the Amish. We buy stuff off the Amish. In fact, the Amish are building our house, and get meat that's been, the animal's been really loved.
They're building your house?
Yeah.
This is awesome. Okay.
And do you know what's exciting?
Okay. Yeah. Because they're
what's exciting?
They're so good.
There,
yeah, they're good.
Yeah, but they're so loving as well. They always smile. Hi, how are you guys? And they're always smiling. They're never grumpy, because they've got no electric, they've got no internet, they've got no news or anything else. They just live in their bubble. And, it's interesting because the two families who are building the house, the whole family, there's 11 kids and the adults. We've had to, next Friday, we've been invited to their two houses, and that never happens. And so we bought them all presents. And when you buy them presents like a doll, you can't have a face on it. You've got to be very careful. Can't buy them any sort of clothing thing. So, we bought them different things, and we're excited to go up there, but they're always happy, they're never miserable. And, in our society, I think people get stressed, miserable, depressed. We've got something wrong here. And therefore, I think what you got to do is look, what excites you in that day? Don't even think about tomorrow, because tomorrow's not happening. Let's think about what I'm going to do today. Something that'll make me excited, like, okay, let's cook a steak on the grill and have a glass of wine or something. And people say, well, I'm super spiritual. I don't drink, don't smoke, don't. Well, what the heck do? You got to do something. And it's called the third dimensional world. Have some fun, for heaven's sake, And we put music on. We have friends around, and you've got to find, the friends that are really going to hold the space for you, of which there's going to be very few. There used to be the thing, and people, I've got 34 friends, and that was great, and it was like an ego thing. We actually have 4 or 5 friends. That's it, that are close to us. The rest of them, they don't come around, so they actually think we're barking mad, and that's fine.
Yeah,
barking mad's great.
Yeah, I think it is to a certain extent. I want to talk a little more about the work that you do with people, and I want to ask you, because I know that you have a very interesting history. I want you to touch on the Melchizedeks and your abilities, and really, what is it that you do with people?
Well, I was born as a Melchizedek being. I found out later on in life. I work with the Melchizedek beings, and when someone's sick, you got to look at the causes, and there's only a few causes really. There's toxicity, transmissional frequencies, and there's emotion. There's kind of nothing else. Your body should function, really well. And so, what we do, a lot of cancer, for example, primary cause of cancer, from my perspective, it's a spiritual, thing. I'm not a medical doctor, go see a doctor, but my perspective of cancer is the primary cause emotion. Wherever the emotion bleeds in, the secondary cause is pathogens in your body. When a low vibration occurs, the pathogens mutate the cells, turn into tumors. So it's important to get rid of the primary cause, important to get rid of the pathogens. And, so many people have got pathogens because of different things happen in the world, if you drank the Kool-Aid or anything else. So it's important to get rid of them. And we have a protocol, a 20-week program, to separate it out using timeline splitting. And then, of course, the tumors just sitting there saying, hey, if you don't pay attention to me, I will pay attention to you. But it's not a death wish to me. It's just basically saying, hey, body's off balance. Let's rebalance it. Let's fry the tumor and get rid of it. And so we use a particular energy to break that down. We get people a lot of intestinal issues at the moment. Why is that? Because emotion bleeds into the pancreas. And so the pancreatic enzymes that get delivered into the gallbladder, through the bile duct, into the intestine, they're low at the moment. So people aren't digesting their food properly. And that's, again, to me, due to emotion. So many things are caused. Adrenals, I always say, stress, can affect your adrenal. Well, of course it does, And the serotonin reduces and everything reduces. So, you then get neurochemical imbalance, and then you get this ADD, PTSD, and all this sort of thing. So everything's caused by something. And you've got to, to me, you've got to understand it to be able to heal it. And that's why I spent probably 4 years in meditation, understanding the gift before I started it, because then I could heal a lot of things. Can I heal everything? Probably not, but I think I've got a really good understanding of the body. It's like the liver. A lot of people, when their liver's paralyzed by an entity or emotion, which is righteous anger, and it's not like yelling. It's just wow, this is not okay in this world, and that can bleed into the liver. It's paralyzed. It's not processing the toxins. So many people come. When they're new clients, their liver's functioning at, say, about 30-35% of what it should be. And they've got like this brain fog. Why is my head heavy? Oh, that's because the liver's not processing the toxins. So when you take it up, wow, I feel so much better, It's amazing. It's amazing to see.
I am, I went through your protocol. I don't know if it was 2 years ago, 3, 1, somewhere along the line, but I'm just going to let people know that they really should check it out. I had powerful experiences during that time and actually had a lot of emotional clearing, but I also had little things come out of my skin, little black things. I got little kind of like little pustules, and then these things came out. And I'm just letting people know that it's the real deal. So go to Christopher's website and really check out everything that he does, because he's very, very gifted and talented and a bit unusual. And we like that. I like that. What is what's your website?
The website's called globalenlightenmentproject.com, globalenlightenmentproject.com. And, feel free, join the buy donation if you got. I always tell people, look, if you got no money, don't shame yourself. Just come on, because I've been there. I've got the T-shirt on that one, let me tell you. And living out of a car for a couple of years and all this sort of thing, it made me realize that, I want to make sure that everyone gets a healing, because some people don't even have 10 cents for food, never mind anything else. So please come on.
Yeah. And just to reiterate what you've already said, you have free weekly group sessions or by donation sessions on, what is it, Thursdays, Saturdays? Do you also do Monday?
Yeah, I used to do Monday. I've stopped because it was all too much. So I just do Thursday and Saturday. So Thursday, 5 p.m. Central Time tonight, and Saturday, 11 a.m. Central Time. And you can join, you can see it on Rumble. We were taken down for life. I was a serial violator on YouTube, so they took the channel down. Never mind. So we're actually on Rumble, we're on Telegram, we're on Facebook and Truth Social. So, yeah.
And so you can just get on. So that's like a live. Okay.
Yeah, it's streamed to Facebook and Rumble as well as it. Yeah. Or you can register on Zoom, and you can come on Zoom. So it's that'll be tonight.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. I really, give it a try and see what happens, because it's life transforming. It really is. And you'll know, I always tell people, if your hands is sweaty and your heart's like racing a little bit, it's for you. Go for it. Have a little bit of chutzpah and go for it. I would like to know if you could actually do a prayer on air for us. A prayer, I say, something that will help clear energies or whatever it is you feel inspired to do. You're the master.
Yeah, let's do. So when you're doing healing, it's important to protect yourself. So let's do the protection prayer, because I think it's really important. It's called the 27 Esoteric Merkaba Field Prayer. So if you repeat after me, if everyone's there, I want you to say, I am of God.
I am of God.
I ground myself to the earth.
Ground myself to the earth.
Dear God, I command that we place 27 esoteric Merkaba fields around me.
Dear God, I command that we place 27 esoteric Merkaba fields around.
To protect me from any negative entities.
To protect me from any negative entities.
Fractals thereof.
Fractals thereof.
Manipulations.
Manipulations.
And transmissional frequencies.
And transmissible frequencies.
That are not for my highest good.
That are not for my highest good.
Through all space-time continuum.
Through all space-time continuum.
In every dimension.
In every dimension.
And we thank you, God, send you our unconditional love, so be it.
We thank you, God, and send you unconditional love, so be it. Wow.
That's a good one, I think.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good one. Thank you for that. You have so much on your website. You have so many offerings. You do such great work with people. I just thank you for everything you're doing. I know your life has been challenging in many ways, kind of like all of us. As we stand in the brink of the end of 2023 and the shifting to 2024, and I'm really glad to hear you're taking some time off.
Oh yeah, 12 days. Yeah, it's the first time in about 3 years. And
yeah,
it's great.
But what do you have anything you'd really like to say to people, like a message or an intuition, or what do you want to say to people as we are ending up this year and stepping into 2024. Like, yeah.
I would say, I think the biggest thing for me is, like you said at the start, go with it's up to us to go with our intuition. If you're listening to people, there's so much misinformation. There's CIA, alternate operative things, misinformation, everything else. I think you've got to go with your intuition a lot more, during this time, because is it going to get worse? Probably. Is it going to be really bad? Well, it depends what you view as bad. I mean, again, if you detach from that matrix and you're having fun and you're having a great time with a few, friends or family members you have, then just stay there in the bubble. Like the Amish, they stay in their world and they're not affected by anything. And I think it's really important to get to that place where you can just have fun with people and, set boundaries to people who berate you. I think that's really, really important, because you don't need the judgment right now, but do be prepared, make sure you got a bit of food on. I never get fear in my life. Whatever happens. It's all in divine alignment. But we are watching a kind of bit of a show. It will alter. When it will alter, it's very difficult to say because the timelines are changing by a minute basis. But I feel it's going to come soon. When we come out of this, I think everything's going to look a lot bigger. But it's always darkest before the dawn. So, and I just want people to get freaked out because who cares? If you're having a great life, doing things that are passionate, even if it's just doing amazing food, and make sure you source your food from good places, instead of fake meat from labs and things like this, because all that's starting to come in.
Yeah. Don't eat fake food. I love what you're saying, and I'm always telling people, what you ingest, whether that's through your eyes or through your consciousness or through your heart. Like if you're just over there watching all this negative stuff all the time, it's going to get you all stirred up. So, to get into, I'm kind of like telling people lately, go have some fun, right? Go put your arms around the people that you love and remember that you love them and drop all this other stuff out. And I'm with you, get into nature, lean against a tree, whatever the deal it is, but remember who you really are, right? Remember who you are.
Absolutely. That's key.
Yeah, you said something earlier in the show, and boy, I could really relate to this. Like, even as a little girl, I would watch people treat people badly or hurt them. I never have understood it. Like, why would you do that? Like, how do you do that?
Yeah, no, why did you do that? Why are you nasty? And,
yeah.
I mean, when you're a little girl, you're talking about a week ago.
Yes, a week ago, just 1 week ago. And here we are. I also am a firm believer in singing together and dancing. And I actually do play the piano. So anything that you can do, like
I wish I did.
Yeah, I'll play it for you today, Christopher. I'll send that
absolutely
energy.
Well, it's interesting because they had an Amish thing. We were invited to that as well. They had like a day where they had to drive the boats for them, of course. And at the end of the day, Mandy sings, and so she sang to them. Dave was going, "Come on, sing to them." So she sang 2 songs, and then Dave was in tears because they said they got all the kids together and they sang to us. And Dave said they never do that. They never sing to other people except their own families. And he said, he had tears. They've never done this. So it was such a beautiful experience. I honor them for who they are.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't like to be without electric. But that's just one thing.
Well. So, my joke is that I'm kind of a princess, so I don't mind going and climbing, a mountain and sleeping on a glacier, but then I need a 5-star hotel to recover.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm the same. You get to age where I like a bit of comfort now.
Yeah. So on the mothership, it's very luxurious. So that's what I.
Absolutely.
Our home planet. So yeah, we're down into like the last minute, which I can't even believe. I do want to once again have you give out your website because I do want people to check it out. And tell us again.
Yeah. And it's called globalenlightenmentproject.com.
Great.
And if you send a message, we'll get back to you. We've got girls in the office. It's not just booking online or this sort of thing. We have people. You can talk to people, and that's really important to me as well.
And so remember the free weekly group sessions today, Thursdays, at actually 4 p.m. Pacific time, because we're in Seattle, and 7 p.m. Eastern, right? And Saturdays at 9 a.m. Pacific time or noon. Check it out. Check out Christopher Macklin, From My Heart to Yours. Blessings, blessings. Give my love to your beautiful wife. And
thanks, Loretta. Love to you, bless your heart.
Yeah, love to you too. And thank you so much for being on the show. And Benny, you're the best.